So we're here at the National Ploughing Championships and we're about to talk to Robert English, who was the host of the IGA Dairy Summer Tour. What did you think of the Irish Grassland Association tour as a whole?
We found the tour very enjoyable, Emma. Met some really good people. We were very, I suppose, we were kind of nervous at the start, didn't really know what to expect from the day, but really enjoyed it in the end, and glad that we took it on. It was a good experience. We got a few things from it.
And there was kind of a lot of people made kind of comments and questions and things like that. Did you learn anything from it, or?
We would. I suppose the one thing it made us do was it probably made us scrutinise what we're doing in more detail than we would normally do ourselves in terms of the figures and efficiencies and that kind of thing. I suppose more so before the event and making sure that we had everything ready. It probably made us think about things in a different way than we had done before. So it'd be something we'd look to take forward from here, I suppose.
And you've only recently converted to dairy and you're now milking 260 cows?
Yeah, 260, yeah.
If you were to go back again, would you do anything differently, do you think?
I suppose it's easy to look back in hindsight. Would we do anything differently? We probably would look to push on a bit faster, maybe finance things a bit more, but you probably have to understand that back in 2014 it was slightly different than it is today, in that money probably wasn't as readily available. New entrants today probably have a better chance. Banks are more confident that the whole greenfields conversion can be done. So at the time, finance wasn't as easy to come by. Would I love to have borrowed more at the time and got going faster? Definitely yes. But I suppose we are where we are today, and we're happy with that.
And was it a tough decision for you to leave your job as an engineer and go home to farm full time, not really knowing how it was going to go? Was all this investment going to be worth it in the end?
Yeah, I would say the hardest thing of the whole, I suppose, process was the decision. I'd say we were 3 years definitely thinking, 2 years definitely thinking hard about it and planning and that kind of thing. I suppose, look, from our own point of view, the conversion made sense. Our farm suited dairy farming. I wanted to stay at home full time. It was the only thing that was going to provide two incomes. So from those, when you added those things up, I suppose that was things added up to go that way. And I think we made the right decision. We're happy with our decision.
You kind of emphasised at the event as well the importance of having good people around you. And I think you joined a discussion group at the time.
Yeah.
If someone was going into dairy tomorrow, would you advise them maybe to get a good group of people around them, and where should they go to kind of find these sort of people?
Look, definitely for anybody getting into dairy, the most important thing at this stage is to do your homework and do it well and spend time doing it. There's a fantastic blueprint there that dairy farming can be done profitably but also enjoyably. There's good technology there now, so it doesn't have to be, the workload can be reduced. Definitely, where do you start? I suppose you'd start with your Teagasc advisor. If you could get yourself into a group, that would be ideal. The way we did it, I suppose I got some work experience first and fell into the group from there. I would probably advise anyone going into dairy and to try and get some experience before they start. I just think it's a big thing. Even converting from sheep or sucklers, they're different stock. It's a different way of life. The more you know before you start, I suppose the better head start you have. And from there, you meet people then. I didn't look at our network in dairy farming, was very small. We probably knew 2 to 3 people that were milking cows full time at the time. Whereas now we have a big network of people. We can bounce ideas off, ask questions, whatever we need to do. So look, definitely that's the most important thing I would say is do your homework well. And do your financial figures well as well. Make sure that you're going to get the return that you want, for yourself.
Sourcing stock is a huge part of going into dairy. Where did you go for stock, or how did you go about setting criteria for the stock you wanted when you didn't have a huge amount of knowledge about the sector you were going into?
So again, I suppose it comes back to the network of people. Once we got to know people, you build contacts then. I suppose we more so tried look at our criteria was high EBI stock, obviously, but we probably put more emphasis on the actual farmer themselves, and I suppose we identified farmers that we thought were doing the job that we wanted to do, and sort of approached them. We probably would have went down south to buy some of the stock and found some of those people through Teagasc advisors. Actually went and asked the advisors who was doing well in certain areas and got a few contacts that way. Had an uncle also that was milking cows, and I suppose I'd been watching him since I was small, and I kind of knew him in the back of my mind I was going there first anyway. But that's more or less it. Like, again, you're trying to use your contacts. You're trying to sift through the figures in terms of the EBI, but also like what farmers are doing a good job, and they're the farmers you want to buy your stock from.
You kind of talked about the maintenance figures being important to you when you're picking your bulls for your herd. Could you maybe just take us through how or what way you match your bulls with your cows based on the maintenance figure, or what kind of target maintenance figure are you looking for in your cows for that perfect size maybe for your herd?
So really what we look for, I suppose maintenance would be one of a number of criteria. I suppose the way we rank it is we're looking for highly fertile animals that will go back and calf, will stay in the herd for a long time. That's the most important criteria. We're looking for animals that will do, I suppose, high kilos of milk solids through good percentages. We feel that's probably the only way. I suppose the only way we can ensure against a bad milk price, it will give us that extra on top of the base price. And then we use the maintenance figure then to sort of regulate the size of the herd. In other words, we're looking for a cow that's maybe 550 kilos roughly. A lot of walking on our farm. The furthest walk is 1.9 kilometres. So we need the cows to be able to travel the distance. So we would use that maintenance figure, I suppose, and match that to the cows. So, for example, when we are dealing with our crossbred cows, we'll pick bulls with a lower maintenance figure that will give a bigger framed animal. And on our bigger cows, we'll use Jersey bulls, which would naturally have a bigger maintenance figure anyway, and hopefully hit that happy medium of that 550 kilo cow. That I suppose, we're looking for a cow that's hardy, that can do a lot of walking and produce high kilos of milk solids off grass. And to get them to grass, they have to be able to last the distance.
And she doesn't have to be looked after too much.
No, that's it. No. Yeah, they can. And I suppose you asked me about the figure. I suppose we'd be looking for a maintenance figure across the herd of somewhere between maybe 15 and 25. We feel that's that sweet spot that we're looking for, and I feel that those cows can do the job we want to do.
Finally, Robert, the last time we were on your farm, you'd taken on a leased block of land. Is there anything else in the pipeline now for your farm in the future?
Not in the immediate future. We finished the last 20 acres of reseeding that we had planned for this year since the walk. I suppose for the next year or two, our concentration will be just on consolidating the herd. There's probably a few efficiencies that we'd like to touch up on. Just let the herd settle down. We're milking, there's 103 heifers milking this year. We'd like to let them mature and see what production we can hit with them. In terms of opportunities, I suppose we probably next year we plan to milk maybe 310 cows next year. That will probably be our max on the block we have. And I suppose from there, we'll see what opportunities comes up. I suppose 2 or 3 opportunities have come. I suppose you could call them opportunities. We weighed them up and we decided not to go for them for one reason or another. And that's the way it's going to be. If an opportunity comes up, we'll crunch the numbers. We'll see how it looks, and we'll see. I suppose one of the things that we probably will put an emphasis on is just our family life, and I suppose we would take that into consideration as well. That we don't want to impinge on that as well. Like, I play a lot of sports. I'm married now. I have to think of those kind of things as well. So that's there's considerations there outside the farm as well. So we have to take all
more to life then.
Yeah.
What's on the
yeah.
farm.
Well. Yeah. We don't want to turn it into a 24/7 job.
Slave.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's great, Robert. Thanks very much for talking to us anyways.
No problem.
And enjoy the rest of your day.
That's right. Thank you. Fair play.